And now, on today's Snowball Reads, Olaf and the Dragon. Where have I heard that name before? Snowball doesn't quite remember. Might have been in a snowy area. Oh well. By Adonato Leotelli. Leotelli? By Adonato Leotelli. You can tell this is going to go great. One of the more colorful legends in Nord folklore is the tale of Olaf One-Eye and the Numix. Long ago in the First Age, a fearsome dragon named Numix ravaged the whole of Skyrim. The dreadful Drake wiped out entire villages, burned cities, and killed countless Nords. It seemed that no power in Tamriel could stop the monster. This was a troubled time in Skyrim's history, for a bitter war of secession raged between the holds. The Jarls might have been able to conquer the beast if they had worked together, but trust was in desperately short supply. A skillful warrior named Olaf came forward and promised to defeat the beast. In some accounts, he is the Jarl of Whiterun. In other versions of the legend, Olaf promises the people of Whiterun that he will capture the monster if they will name him Jarl. At any rate, Olaf ventures forth with a handful of his most trusted warriors and seeks the beast out, eventually finding Numex in his lair atop Mount Aethor. Needless to say, it's an epic battle. First, Olaf comes at the dragon with his axe and his shield. Some variants of the legend say that Olaf and the beast battled with blade and claw for days, but there were too evenly matched for either to gain an advantage. Most accounts hold that Olaf, perhaps frustrated that his weapons are completely ineffectual against the dragon, finally cast them aside, giving voice to the rage that has been building within him. Olaf unleashed a terrible shout. Here again the stories diverge. Many accounts hold that Olaf did not realize he possessed the power of dragon speech, while others suggest that he had long ago possessed this gift, but wished to test himself against the dragon in mortal combat first. Virtually all variations of the legend, however, agree on what happened next, using the awesome power of the dragon language. Numex and Olaf engaged in an epic shouting duel atop Mount Aethor. So forceful are their words that they are said to shatter the stone and split the sky. Finally, Numex collapses from a combination of injuries and sheer exhaustion. Somehow, and this detail is conspicuously absent in virtually every account, Olaf manages to convey the dragon all the way back to the capital city of Whiterun. The people of Whiterun are suitably impressed with Olaf's hostage. They build a huge stone holding cell at the rear of the palace, which they renamed Dragon's Reach. This enormous cell serves as Numex's prison until his death. Olaf himself eventually becomes the High King of Skyrim, putting an end to the War of Secession. Presumably his great deed made him the only leader upon whom all people could agree, and so the land once again has peace. As a visitor to Skyrim, I find this tale both fascinating and highly entertaining. It is one of the most celebrated legends of Nords, and one can easily understand why. It is a story of surpassing heroism, in which a resourceful and worthy Nord does battle with a truly terrifying adversary and emerges victorious by yelling at him into submission. The only way in which this could have been more of a Nordic tale would be if Olaf beat Numex in a drinking contest. The legend is without its doubters. However, the bards Svekner, who lived during Olaf's reign, wrote and performed an alternate verse that changed Olaf's version of events. Enraged, the High King threw the rebellious bard in prison and destroyed all written copies of the verse. How I would love to lay hands on a copy of that verse. I admit I am immensely curious to know what assertions Sviknir made about how Olaf really defeated Numex. There are a few ancient bard texts that provide one possible answer. Those tomes suggest that Numex was particularly foul-tempered because he was extremely old. In these accounts, the dragon spends his final years terrorizing the countryside before flying off to the top of Mount Aethor to die in peace. When Olaf finds Numex, the dragon is too weak to defend himself. Olaf and his men capture the beast without effort, but decide to take advantage of the situation by fabricating a heroic tale. It is worth noting that all of Olaf's warriors who were said to witness the shout duel went on to become wealthy leaders during Olaf's reign as High King. However, it is equally likely that Svekner had some grudge against Olaf, and his scandalous verse was an attempt to damage the High King's reputation. Alas, we will never know. I leave you now, good reader, with this gentle reminder. A good historian must remain impartial and consider all points of view. Time has a way of distorting our records of events, so the closer you get to the original source, the better. And that was Snowball Reads Olaf and the Dragon. See you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye.